Cool. Should be good to keep rocking. Alright, so what are we doing now? We haven't talked to the guys in here yet, have we? We've got to talk to this dude in here. Hopefully he's still here. Yeah, they did say they'd hang around for a while. It's a bowl. There's spit in it, reeking of tobacco. Photos of men in overalls toting guns and Union placards. You see hawthorn bushes outside. We've got to talk to this guy. He's probably going to give us a load of... Ooh, coins. So much random money lying around. No one ever notices it. We've got to talk to this guy. He's probably going to give us sass, yeah?
This is where you say your bed.
Yep. This guy's going to be very sassy. Did we save?
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you. Don't say anything yet. We need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Yikes.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them.
Janitors, what a diss.
I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in
Oh
the
yeah,
yard.
we said there was 8, wasn't it?
Chances are they're going to match.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would she be the 8th? Didn't we say there was 8? Looks like there's 7. Unless there's someone I can't see. Scan the room.
Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man. In his 30s. Overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45 or 46. Eldest in the room. Probably mid-50s. Smoker. Quiet. Across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. In his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock quarter. There were incarcerations. Hard to say what else. The ink is fading. And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders
The
and
big
lean
dick.
at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. A little under 40. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 44. 40-something. Non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum?
Plectrum. What's a plectrum? Where?
On his neck. Forget it. It's not important.
What's a plectrum? A plectrum is a small flat tool used to pluck or strum a stringed instrument. Oh, like a guitar pick. No, it's mean a guitar pick.
Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and 2 front teeth missing. In the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46, deep marks. Probably carried the victim over. He, alone, is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220.
It's all lining up.
In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs. But there's a discrepancy.
Yeah, we've only got 7. There should be 8.
Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
If I give up here now, can I save and talk to him again?
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
That's not exactly how I was thinking of questioning about it. I thought we could be a little more subtle leading into the question of the 8th. Because we're just straight up accusing them so brutally like that. I feel like we've got so many skill points here. We should put some in something. We can save 1 or 2 for a rainy day, but... I feel like I want at least 1 in some of these. We could get more empathy. And authority. Authority would be nice, a bit more authority. Everybody's laughing at us. And these are also low. Let's get empathy and authority. And save 1 for a rainy day. I guess we just gotta ask this. It's not how I would have liked to word it, but...
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
He sizes you up.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want?
She. Like, is she the 8th? Because there's 7 dudes in here, but she could be the 8th.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
Yeah, whatever this Glenn just said.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. End.
He points at the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
And if they're a she as well, and maybe they're the one who bought our gun. The man hanged in the backyard. Did you do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Why is there a container belt around the dead man's neck?
Container belt? Like we use in the harbor?
Yes. Why?
Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him.
Oh, well, that was easy. Case concluded.
We did this. Together. All of us. Until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around his neck.
That's it. The game's over. We got the perp. Aha, so you just confessed to murder?
Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Who called the shots that night?
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys.
And while that's probably what should be done, like they're all accountable and they should all be arrested, I don't think we have the resources or the power in this world, us two, It's like, yeah, let's just arrest them. Let's cuff them all up and, like, how would we even arrest them? They know that they've got a pretty strong spot and nobody really respects our authority here.
Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
Yeah. A shadow of a smirk passes her lips. A shadow of a smirk as she tilts her head.
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Yeah, she's smarter. She's definitely smart. We should talk to these dudes.
Who do you fucking think does?
Who calls the shots around here? He sounds more amused than angry. I mean, you would assume that it's Titus, the one who's stepping up and talking. You do. You give the commands.
That's right, asshole. Titus Hardy runs the Hardy Boys. Ain't that so, fellas?
He looks around for approval.
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms the others can't read. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
The others can't read. You murdered him just like... Wait, let's just ask, why did you kill him?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town.
So he was a mercenary, that's it?
And he stepped out of line.
He repeats, jaw clamped shut like a vice.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Kohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Hold on, how do you even know he was in Special Forces?
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNE's goddamn special forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Well, that's pretty straightforward.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNE's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did. Right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true.
Yeah, it does seem true.
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
The karaoke code. Okay, besides crimes against karaoke, what did he actually do wrong?
Wrong? He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
He wipes spittle from his mouth.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
The lieutenant is trying to make sense of this flood of information.
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't
Jesus.
you show me your cunt?
Jesus!
Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
He shakes his head in disbelief. Was this the same girl who was assaulted, you said?
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
Who did he assault then? This is a very serious allegation.
No. You're not getting a name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling
Oh,
you.
my volition just didn't quite make it. Damn. We could have pumped one in that. I need to look at my clothes as well before I go and talk to people. When did this hanging incident occur?
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
The fixer returns to remind Titus.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
How long had you known the victim?
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that, asshole.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines? The shipping company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what?
He rubs his chin, pretending to mull it over.
Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
How did you kill him?
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
We need more. Did you muffle him? We haven't heard any reports of screams.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck, and hanged him till he was dead and steady.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Make them more uncomfortable. That might improve this composure chance. There's a red check, can't be retried. Wasn't he a trained killer from Orenese Special Forces? If yes, then how did you manage to overpower him?
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Where did this overpowering happen?
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
This one has a distinct style. He puts so much whiny emotion into everything he says, it's hard to see if he's lying. But he could be.
Well, that pooped it up a bit. 42%. Dude, I wish I could change my clothes in a conversation or something. Composure 3, 42%. I don't know. Let's go. I want this one to hit.
Titus
Yes.
is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But
Titus is solid as a rock and so few. Who's cracking under the pressure? He's sweating profusely. Yeah, Fat Angus, the big guy who probably carried him out there, sweating profusely and has difficulty breathing. They've smartly kept him out of the conversation thus far. Definitely the weakest link in the chain. Hey, you, turn to the big guy. You having trouble breathing over there?
No.
He looks up, startled, his forehead shiny from sweat. A few coiled locks are peeking out from under his warm woolen hat.
Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking fat he is.
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy. All muscle.
keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
Something you're not telling me.
And fuck you, too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this schoolyard shit. And just so you know, he doesn't have trouble breathing.
His all-muscle comment wasn't sarcastic. He's genuinely trying to look out for Angus.
Was that our empathy? 10 verse 10? Did that actually pop because we just put a point in empathy before doing this?
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Maybe we can find the big guy alone sometime after they move on. Because we're out of questions. We're out of this line, at least. We have other questions about the lynching.
Like what, Copper?
You murdered him just like that? No remorse?
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
He says it as if it were worse than dying. What we do is different. We enforce the law. You just kill people like it's nothing. Look, I'm just doing my job, that's all.
Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in solitary? Prison is a charter. That's what it is.
He's clearly been in solitary confinement, and at a young age, nonetheless.
So is hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
The lieutenant replies dryly. I don't know if we want to strong arm a little bit. Why don't I just arrest you? You won't like this, I think. I wonder if I should just not hit this one.
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
His mean little eyes come alive with hatred.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you.
You can hit him with the "you confess to murder, I'm taking you in." Step even closer. No, let's not do that. Let's just back off for now.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get the fuck out of our booth. We're not gonna do this again.
Conclude the questioning.
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility, we're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Oh, wow, we need godly authority for that. Establish authority. -1, weak when you first met. +1 discusses. We're not going to hit that. Sheesh. Authority. I think, did we actually do an authority? Yeah, I put 1 in it. Sheesh, it's like 3. It's going nowhere. What's that Q button do?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. You see 2, maybe 3 bushes grown into a single thicket over a period of circa 50 years. It takes time for a hedge like that to form.
Perception very low. Mysterious door seen. Squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. One can't see into the Union box from the yard outside. That hawthorn is too thick.
This is a Union box. You can't see into it from outside. It's a white check, but it's 3%, and it's -12. It's not time yet, so I guess we should have a look later, I guess.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you the Hardy girl?
I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
Interesting. Well, we got some info. It's still a bit of a dead end. Monica's titties are big. Good to know.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
What's behind that door?
He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. You see a heavy steel door. The door does not. The door.
Well, we've definitely got lots of things that we can run around and do. We had something to look at, didn't we?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant is more than happy to show off his precious carriage. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl.
Loud. Press the button labeled headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Where are we on this? Point to the map.
Let me see. Right here.
He says his finger near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
Look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. The first row has 18 dots.
Okay.
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
What about the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations.
Only 3?
That's it.
Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Wait, 18 years I've done this? Got drunk like a megastar? I walked the land, telling whores and liars of the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining. Probably some boring office job, same as everyone else. Is that a typo, or is that just me being weird? Probably some boring office job?
No shame in working a regular job, detective. Sometimes after a long day of doing this, I even envy it. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see, wow, more than 200.
Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
I used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number?
Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
So I'm a killer.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective, or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
Maybe I should find a hobby?
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
Yeah, I've been wearing these gloves for a long time.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
Declining to elaborate.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Alright, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Who turned off the lights?
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
Whoa. Superstar cop, apocalypse cop, sorry cop, boring cop. Communist, fascist, ultra-liberal, moralist. Good cop, bad cop, honor. People killed 3, cases solved 216, 18 years in service. 18 years.
Wow. So someone's been a little boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
What is this? Picking on me for not being crazy enough? That's the least of my concerns.
No need to be defensive. The regularity, the brownness, the cut and dry have their appeal. A very standard appeal.
Look, I'm just trying to do my job. No need for extravagance.
Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
Regular cop. Wait, what? This will be my copo type?
Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits.
A nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits. Do we want to just be regular cop? That doesn't sound that bad. Considering how crazy we are and how much of a wreck of an alcoholic we are with no memory. Maybe just being regular cop is fine. I'm not ashamed.
Done and done.
Regular law
No
official.
actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic.
Good. The old regular law official. -2 Inland Empire. Nothing funky. Okay, so it looks like you got a bit of the normal in you. A touch of the regular. 4 grams of Johnny Normal Cup. Who would have thunk it? You, the extremist of all the cops. You said some pretty boring things back there, and now you have 2 choices. You can either leave it behind and forget about it, or you can try to utilize your normalcy. Internalize it. Get a touch of vanilla back into the herring-flavored egg and licorice ice cream of your mind. We could think about that later. It all seems to kill my stats. Was there always a person here?
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth.
He's analyzing the...
Ask for his conclusion.
Nothing. I'm just messing with you, man.
I've
Don't
already
mind.
been through all these, haven't I? What do we do now, then? I want to go back up to that ledge and see if I can fix up my stats to jump over and get that coat. Is this all still the same?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
I have no morale heals at the moment. Should we buy some morale heals or something?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
Does Frit have a warehouse in the back of the Whirling in Rags?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
This is important.
She scrunches up her face into an expression of consummate adolescent skepticism.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
She turns back to her magazine without waiting for you to respond. Wasn't the most convincing.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
Should we buy a raincoat for +1 endurance? I wonder if the Frit on the back means anything. Like if we're wearing it around, people will think we're Frit. Let's buy it.
Here you go.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Let's just buy one for now.
A small cabinet on the wall.
So at least we got 1 in the bank. Who's this? Oh yeah, how do we get up here? Looks like the roof of a building we're in before. How would we get up there? I want to go up there and talk to her. I don't remember there being any sort of path that we know about. There wasn't any way we missed or any sort of obvious route up there. Maybe it's that door in the kitchen or something. Probably is. It's probably this door to go up, or does that just go out the back?
You see the door.
So upstairs was just that door to the balcony, wasn't it? Can't get around this way at all, can I? To get in there. How did I get up there before?
Tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for...
Alright, let's put a point in. I want to do this. If I put 1 in this Savoya Fair, that unlocks the chance for us to try this again.
Is still caught on the railing.
Still 8%, but we've got a bunch of minus on us. Some plus would be good. I don't think we got anything plus. Just minus.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught
Still
on the railing.
28%.
No one has claimed it for their own.
Are we going to cheese it and try it and reload if I feel like cheesing this a little bit?
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing.
No.
No one has claimed it for their own.
Dude, I want to get over there pretty bad.
Nope. No. That's still too high. What we...
Damage self -1. I have to click it, yeah? And that just ticks down. Is this like some sort of earthbound damage thing? Boom. Alright, so you got to intercept that.
You feel something
down
in
we
your
go.
chest. An unnatural pressure.
It reminds me of like
It's
earthbound
spreading
damage.
to your left arm. Yeah. There's no cop suffers final.
If anything to get that stat up would be good. Oh, that's not going to happen until we get that stat up a bit. And we find some other way over there, I guess. So we've sort of done what we need to out in this yard, haven't we? Yeah, we looked at all this.
The man before you is naked.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Hey, Kuno, got any speed? I don't think Kim would like that. Kuno, let's talk about your shack
What
again.
do you want with it?
I
Good
hate this
call,
kid.
Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to fucking right, pig. Kuno's filling bathtubs with that shit. Kuno's a kingpin.
Can I have some?
Fuck no, pig. Kuno ain't dealing to the popo. Not doing the pork pen for your sad speed habit. You don't know Kuno.
Belying the act, he's actually telling the truth. Or at least 0.00001% of it. He has a little speed. He's just not giving it to you. We need to befriend him first.
It's not about to happen.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
I just want to ask you some questions.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
What should we say? I feel like we've got to be careful with what we say to these kids. That corpse made me puke twice, and I was wondering why you don't. What are those strange words you use, girl? Hey, kid. Child. I think we should stop calling them kids. They don't like that. You there, behind the fence. What are those strange words you use, girl?
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing her. Get the fuck out of here.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody.
I hate these
I'm
kids.
not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Stay away from me, pig. You don't want to see what happens when you corner me. I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murder was the case they gave me.
She has almost vanished behind the fence. Only the top of her hat remains.
I'll die before I... What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
Get the fuck out of her face. You got done. Talk to me.
It doesn't seem to go anywhere.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Talk to Kuno. I saw that upped it a bit. Empathy 4. 17's not great.
Kuno doesn't...
Wonder will, I guess our morale will probably take a hit. If we mess this up. Can we chuck another one in empathy? No, we've used all our points, haven't we? Empathy is actually pretty useful so far. It's been popping up a bit. Do we try the 17?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Or should we try to like get something else with stats?
Kuno doesn't...
Starting to see the usefulness in the cloves. But we also need money. Well, is there anywhere... There's places we still haven't fully explored, isn't there? Who's this? It's hard, you know? It's just hard sometimes. Hello, we haven't talked to these guys for a while.
Officer, the mere sight of police in Martinez makes me feel safer already. How can I help you?
No rhetoric. Gotta remember what I actually have on hand here. Conceptualization. That's about it.
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle?
It's a Bell McGrave, 4.46 caliber, breech loading, Revachol made. Good weapon, accurate and reliable. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
Should we be honest? These people are pretty cool, just be honest.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
Thank you for your time. Oh, who's this? There's someone here browsing.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Yeah, I found a way into the doomed commercial area.
Oh, that's great. I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
A good one?
Yes? Hello?
Who are you?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Shouldn't a working class woman be working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Good, good.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Do you need the help of a policeman?
What with?
Maybe your husband is missing. That's a really random question to just ask.
My husband? No, he's not.
So where could he be?
I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
So what I'm hearing is, I don't know where this is going. These are weird questions. So what I'm hearing is you don't really know where your husband is.
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time.
Wouldn't you like to?
No.
I can totally help you find your missing husband.
Why are we still talking about this?
This is so bizarre.
I haven't lost my husband.
She has, though. The husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay.
It's okay.
What?
Yeah, empathy is really coming through a lot, and we're sort of on the threshold here. It's alright to not know where your husband is. Nothing shameful in that.
Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. My husband is not missing.
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something else then.
Maybe your children are missing?
No, absolutely not.
So where are they?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
Police, whatever I want. Nanny, where are they?
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
Let's not go too crazy. Okay, great, just making sure.
I see.
Maybe your cockatoo is missing.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get ladies. It's better to indulge him at this point.
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what?
This is the most bizarre conversation.
It's a trap. Never ever say what.
I want to say what so bad. Alright, cockatoo not missing. I just wanted to make sure.
Great.
What did you mean by me being a cockatoo?
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
This is the weirdest conversations in Quest. Now we can get tasked to look up cockatoos.
Wonderful. The store is open.
Watch her browse books.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Another comrade. Years of labor are pressing down on her shoulders. She deserves a hug for all the work she's done for mankind.
Give her a hug.
You step in and close your arms around this foreign body, wandering astray in touch. There's a small movement beneath your hands as you shut your eyes. Then, a tiny voice breaks out and asks,
What is happening?
She seems to be confused. Your hands are wrapped around her polyester coat. The fabric feels cold, moist from the sea nearby.
Keep hugging her.
The situation is oddly intimate. Your cheek is pressed against her shoulder. Her hand is trapped between your chest. 5 seconds pass, and their passing seems so unimaginably long. Then she coughs and says again,
What are you doing, officer?
Random hugs.
Less talk, more feeling. Keep your eyes closed. Soak in the closeness. See what the feeling entails.
We'll keep our eyes closed.
The feeling continues. Warm and comfy on the cold shoreline. You hear a question rising to the surface, trying to break the sensation.
Silence your thoughts. I don't want to answer anything.
You focus on the hug, and for a moment, everything feels serene. You hear her heart beating, or perhaps it's your own. I wonder how long it has been since you last hugged someone.
No, please, I don't really want to remember.
Officer, what are you doing?
A swash of water hits the coast behind her figure. I'm fighting for the working class.
Fighting for it how?
One hug at a time.
Oh.
There's a strange sensation as the woman strengthens her grip. She's hugging you back. Ooh.
I guess it's better than nothing. Keep fighting on, my fellow comrade.
Then she breaks up the hug, her cheeks flushed.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all for the moment. I'll let you read.
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
I need to quickly BRB. I won't do a full BRB break. I'll just be real quick. We'll just chill out here and listen to the waves. Brr, it's chilly. It's getting late. It's getting cold. I should pause this. I leave. It's time ticks away. We should do this weird quest as well, even though some of these quests are so bizarre. They usually give us a bunch of XP, and the skill points are super useful. I'm going to start not spending these randomly anymore. I'm going to keep some in the pocket. It's nice. I don't know. I do want more empathy. But it's nice having some in the pocket, so when we get some sort of crazy check like that, and something really important like getting over the fence to my coat up there that I really want to do, and I wish we could have put a couple points in this. Put some cloves or something would be nice.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Pain
Nearly
threshold.
all the titles contain the word Hyundai, somewhere.
The points can let us unlock these as well, all sorts of stuff. Although we got a big list of all the ones that we haven't done. Don't we? What was that? Here. One's on white available to try, but yeah, the legendary godly. Impossible. Policeman cloak, yeah, that one, we really need to get that done. So maybe we can get some more stat points. I have no idea. I need to learn how to say this word a million times. Savoir. Savoir. Savoir-faire. I ain't French, yo.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages.
Everything's so expansive. We're so poor. I just want to learn about a bird.
Hello again, esteemed
Have
officer.
you heard?
And welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. A book about cockatoos?
Cockatoos?
There should be one upstairs.
Her voice is
right
funny.
next to the shelf of biographies.
Cool. Farewell for now, book peddler.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective, Dick Mullen.
Oh, I do kind of want that book. Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. But we're so poor and I don't even have enough money to pay for the room tonight. Dude, I wonder what happens if we get to the second night and we're still just too broke to pay for our room. Does Ken have to bail us out again?
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance.
This was the thing we could try to
Several
steal
maps.
here.
The
wasn't
maps
it?
look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Angry storekeeper stare down. We could just buy it.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are.
What was that thing that popped up? Is this the bird book?
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo.
Flip through the pages.
Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they all have behavioral problems.
Really, the cockatoos around here are pretty cool. They're loud, but they're pretty chill. What about this guide to cockatoos, storekeeper?
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
Capricious. $4.
Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that around.
You read about cockatoos?
A cockatoo is a parrot
So
with
bizarre.
an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues.
How so? Okay, what more?
This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated.
Bang bang cockatoo? What problems do these birds have?
Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up.
That's what I'm saying, they are loud. That's the one thing I knew about cockatoos. They definitely make a bunch of noise. I could handle that. It would be nice to have someone to talk to when feeling lonely.
Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive.
Cheeky. Anything
It
else?
is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own.
I mean, yeah, you've got to feed them every day. I guess that's sort of assumed, yeah. Has to be something great about cockatoos as well.
You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels.
Yeah, wow, that's the first thing I said when they brought up the cockatoos. We have a lot of them in Australia. They are loud.
Not great for the neighbors.
Nope.
Performing? Yes, birdie.
The drama likes it. My drama side likes it. Read about the funeral cockatoo?
This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it.
Cool. Read about the major majestic cockatoo.
Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species.
Read about the most common bang-bang cockatoo.
Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white. The Seminoles name, bang-bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins.
Plumage is mainly grey and white. Honestly, this bird does sound a bit like me.
Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
But what if I am just a fuck-up-a-too? A fuck-up and a cockatoo? Dude, I don't know, the funeral one. Like, we're a pretty moody guy. A pretty moody dude. Maybe the funeral one.
You're right. You're Psittacus venereus embodied. This ominous bird belongs on your heraldry.
Put the book away. Did we get much XP for that? I didn't really notice. We spent money on that book to get that done. But who knows, maybe it'll open up weird conversation stuff. I didn't see what that got us. I don't think it was much. Well, we found our bird. How bizarre.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Excuse me?
You're right that I'm a cockatoo. I went up and read up on them. Just like you said. And I even decided on what kind of cockatoo I am. Want to know?
I don't know. The most talkative one?
No.
The what now?
The funeral cockatoo.
You truly are one strange cop, aren't you?
The woman before you nods and returns to her reading.
Was that a bag? A bag? Plastic bag? Oh, God, we've needed one of those. Yellow plastic bag. Neat. Now we really do look like a janitor. We haven't really been up here at all. Capeside Apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain. These bottles are everywhere now.
Hey! Up here, Piggo!
What? There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint? Oh God, I just noticed, yeah, all the paint.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
That's a bit much. We just wanted to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was, trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside. The sass, she is very sassy.
A brush? An artist? The red splatter is urban expressionism.
What are you doing to that wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
She studies the wall, suddenly pensive. So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cats. And my name's not Mona, so...
So you're probably not going to write that?
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
We're not about to try to stop her. I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
This is the least of our concerns right now.
I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
Sarcasm detector.
She means the opposite.
Yeah, that's right. Rhetoric. No, I picked that up.
You've lessened
rhetoric.
Her desire to deface the building.
You've lessened her desire. All right. Well, I wasn't really caring about it, but I guess so. You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
Sometimes what we hear in the dialogue doesn't match up, yeah? She nods disdainfully towards the woman performing maintenance on the boat docked next to the pier. Look at this boat.
Hatred, disgust, It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing.
This is the Wild Pines
rep. You
rep.
should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Wacky, I can do that.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein.
Pigstein.
Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Nice girl. Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it. We might be able to go in there, but Kim specifically said we need to just talk to this. Was it Wild Pines? What was it called? Whoa, cool. It's a mag. We need that. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. We haven't used heals at all because every time I get hit, I just let it go down, we die, then I just respawn. Haven't bothered actually healing. Docking reserved for residents of... I can actually pick all these up? Damn, there's bottles everywhere. I guess I'll add up. Does the bag have a limit? It's just filling up and up. Your room in the Welling is much bigger than this sloop. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. It's a pretty nice looking boat. Hello.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Joyce L? What does the L stand for?
Baton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Do you know something about... let's not show the dead body to everybody straight away. You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19, because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word, it, feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Yeah, your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why?
She taps on the side of the boat. It makes a hollow sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Elysium, and its hull is 19 paces long.
She makes a point of being unromantic about it.
How about the sleek fish?
What?
Because it's sleek and fish-like.
I think I'll stick with the factory name, but thank you.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
The eel's hips.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Hey, you told me to be wacky.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Yeah, he's actually serious. Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas Alamer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
Wait, I thought Le Caillou was one big island.
Okay, if you want to get technical. The point is, we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike.
Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
He resists. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the bay, between the city and the islands. Wait, what was the question? Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands. Yes, I do. How's that a response?
You have the guns and the ammo. Take this Clausen fiend down.
It's a weird convo. Let's talk about the economics of this boat you're on.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Precisemundo. Class wartime, baby. No, it's a symbol of our subjugation to foreign capital. The bad kind of capital. Well, yes, exactly.
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
He doesn't look like he thinks you're bester in single combat.
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A?
I think it did say that.
33A, this old proletarian haunt here. As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
28%. It's a red check, can't be tried. Is this our only chance to try it, though? Let's try it. Bodied.
She takes a sip.
It's gonna happen.
Okay.
Something is about to happen in here.
Of course.
Nothing happens for quite a while.
They will come from my head. The arguments.
As they do.
The thoughts happen inside his brain.
Wave your hand next to your head. It will help.
It doesn't.
Keep waving your hand slowly.
My, it's as if there's a tiny spinner on the side of his head and he's reeling thoughts out.
Except he isn't.
The lieutenant is satisfied with where this is going.
A thought is going to come out of my head and into my mouth, and I will say it. I just keep doing it.
Lieutenant,
Oh
I
no, my
truly
morale.
don't understand what is happening here.
I told you his methods are unconventional.
What were we talking about anyway?
It was quite a while ago, but I think, yes, we were discussing my fast, large, ineluctably middle-class boat.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Are we done then? I think I have a handle on this boat thing.
Good.
I don't even know why we're ranting about all that. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo-tribes?
Son-Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed, or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor indeed.
There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? I will slay it.
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
No way. She's more. She can make decisions.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
You mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
What happened to Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Tell me more about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her performance literally.
That's not what you really think, right?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of him?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of local working men? A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing, you said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Some kind of extortion, probably.
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Most of them probably don't even know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
An opening gambit, surely.
Sounds like an opening gambit.
So I hoped. But this type of opening is usually followed by a more reasonable offer. I've yet to hear one. Just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out. No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines Group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Do I have my badge?
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment.
I don't have a badge.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Neither do I.
'Twas stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
Why should I blame it on an artist?
Everyone knows you can't trust artists. They're nearly as bad as clowns.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yes.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. It's possible, after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all my memory of my life and the world. I guess both these options are sort of telling her that we've lost our memory. I was kind of hoping we'd stop telling people that. Surely it can't help.
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She sighs with compassion, sadness even.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
She wants a badge? We don't have a badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
72% sympathy for amnesia, pities your boat failure. Pretty high roll. How do I negotiate my way out of this?
Feelings
Fuck off.
will guide the way.
Serious? 72% my ass. Ah, but madam, I need to know about this lynching. It's very important to me. It's the case I'm solving.
I assure you, it is no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming this situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible.
You don't understand. It's not like a side case for me. This is my main thing.
Trust me, officer, I am fully committed to resolving this impasse. This isn't some side gig for me.
You have so much else. I have only this. This is the entirety of my existence.
She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her.
This boat, for example, and a home somewhere. I only have this case.
Officer.
The carbon fiber hull creaks. Damn, we took a morale hit for that bad roll. Shit, that was 72% as well. God damn. This case is what I will be known by.
You know, I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt.
You're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in. Somehow.
Despite your own best efforts.
I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible.
Like what?
The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbour. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it. Or you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause.
There's something about the drug trade. Looking into the drug trade she'd like.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse us for a moment, madam.
Wow, you work hard.
I do?
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
Yeah, I ride. A little. ZZ Top, you guys rock. Maybe a little.
A little? You make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
Money printer. Can't say I didn't make that Sileng guy give some of his money either. You could say I took some money from the Manana guy too. Oh, and then there's pawning stuff off that suspicious Roy guy. I guess I've got some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die.
Every time I look at
now,
this,
ask yourself.
the savoir-faire art, I think it looks like a face hugger from Aliens.
Are you rich?
Like metaphorically speaking, yes, quite.
Get out of here. You're a pauper. You work harder than anyone. Almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
It's because of that guard guy running my house. The system is broken. I don't know. Why am I so poor?
Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket.
G-Man.
Stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate that is Revachol?
I thought there were no taxes.
You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus, there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gotham estate's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money.
Are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
No fucking way. I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now. Opt in. Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help with that? Opt in, but only a little. This isn't helping me solve my money problem. It's only making me into a free market type. Should we opt in? Free market fundamentalist now? Let's opt in a little. Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how will deregulation help with that?
It's all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Indirect modes of taxation. I wasn't even talking to a friend. Our white morning is almost done. We've got 40 minutes left. I'm curious as to what this will actually give us.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
How did you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
Shit.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
Well, yeah, kind of owned with the badge problem. I could say how to handle it, but I don't have faith that I can actually handle this. The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional, after all.
What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
Let's get back to her then. I think I went bad talking to this lady.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Okay, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking.
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Went bad because of that bad roll, isn't it?
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Let me get this straight. The materials came from Samara to Revachol through the terminal?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, man. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut.
And you want us to investigate?
Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
The lorries.
Precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they're vulnerable.
How convenient that they're stranded like beached whales at that roundabout.
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now.
How convenient.
Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier?
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers.
It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it?
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
What proof do you have that the Union is involved?
How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves.
So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs?
Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
We already have some suspicions that one of the drivers was present at the lynching. That's okay to say, isn't it? Because Ken said that we should keep the results of the drug under wraps. I think we can say this.
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done.
Okay. I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation. I don't know if I should say that.
Yes?
We will take this case, probe the drivers, see where it yields.
Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open.
This is a big lead.
I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
She takes another long sip from her seemingly bottomless thermal cup. Guess we gotta show her the photo.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So, you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Thank you, that's all for now.
Of course, Detective.
God, that was a long-ass conversation. Oh, it's such a bummer, like that huge conversation. It was just that one roll that went bad. They really boned it up. I'm not about to save scum. Couldn't even be bothered going through all that again. But we're done with talking to her, yeah? The morale is bad.
You're back. Good.
Alright, well, we've got so many different things that we can do, but the main one seems to be the jam. Let's close the water lock on Wednesday. It's Tuesday at the moment. Call Alice back in the day. Oh yeah, we got to call back for info on the armor as well. So there's a bunch of things here to do. But the main one, and surely, is this jam mystery. Like, that's a big lead onto the main investigation that we're doing, I guess. We haven't been in this door here. I need a quick breaky. It's breaky time again. Bum these bottles. We will walk in here after BRB.